On November 28, 2012, the common-law wife of a Port Hope man found murdered in his home pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in an Oshawa courtroom. Catherine Andrus turned 53 years old on the day she was sentenced to life imprisonment with no chance of parole for 12 years and a joint submission to the court. She pleaded not guilty to first-degree murder, but guilty to the lesser charge of second-degree murder. Justice E.B. Minden called it a vicious, callous, cowardly killing of her common-law spouse of 16 years. Michel Leblanc, 53, was found dead inside their home on September 24, 2009, at 3 Pochon Avenue after emergency services were called shortly after 8 a.m. Court heard how Andrus's teenage son is the one who found Leblanc inside a bedroom the morning after he celebrated his 16th birthday. Minden said Andrus pummeled her common-law spouse to death with an aluminum baseball bat. An autopsy showed at least 5 blows to the head, and any of the 5 blows could have killed him. Although no reason was given for the killing, the court heard that the couple did suffer from financial difficulties, including Andrus's gambling problem. During the investigation into the murder, an undercover officer led Andrus to a confession, and she was arrested shortly thereafter. Although Leblanc was under the impression from Andrus that he was getting $5,000 in taxes back from the government, the court heard he owed that much in taxes. She also gave the impression to friends and family she was being treated for breast cancer. Crown attorney Brad Kelnick said the deception went on for months. On the day of the killing, the 16-year-old son was getting ready for school when he went into the couple's bedroom and found his father's lifeless body. Kelnick said the bedroom was staged to look like a home invasion with personal items, including Leblanc's wallet, missing. The items were later found in the van that Andrus was driving and in her locker. Kelnick read from the statement of facts stating, "It appeared Leblanc was asleep in bed and taken by surprise." Andrus removed. Her clothing, as she anticipated it, would be a bloody attack before committing the murder. She had a shower and used paper towels to clean up before discarding the bat and towels in a ditch. The murder weapon has never been found. She would have received $370,000 following Leblanc's death from 2 life insurance policies and the pension. The court heard how the murder may have been the financial motivation for Andrus. It's a second-degree murder, but a first-degree tragedy, Kelnick stated to the courtroom filled with friends and relatives of both Leblanc and Andrus. The family of the best friend and the family of Leblanc read victim impact statements. "Mish was our friend and like a brother to Sam," read Corinne Marmora, whose husband was best friends with the murdered man. "Sam is lost without him. His world is shattered. His life was taken way too early by a senseless act of violence. We will always miss our gentle giant, but know he will be waiting for us when it is our time to go." Brother and sister Robert and Carol Leblanc spoke of their love for their brother and how their trust in people is gone. Mike was kind, thoughtful, loving, and funny. "We thought you loved him just as much as he loved you, but we were wrong. His favorite thing was being a grandfather, and you managed to take that away from him. Our mother raised us to never use the word hate in a hateful way. She would allow us to use it now because of what you have done to our family." They ended their statement with a message to Andrus. "You said at his funeral that you and Mike will be together again one day. We know this is false because our brother is up in heaven." Leblanc's daughter, Tammy O'Connor, said, "We no longer get to build new memories. Dad had a presence when he was in a room, and life has become much quieter since he's been gone. Your life changes in a massive way when someone you trust, love, and respect betrays you with murder." Leblanc's other daughter, Tina Walters, explained in her statement that Andrus meant to take him away from his children, grandchildren, family, and friends. "We will never get to spend another second with my dad. My children will grow up never knowing him. My dad will never get another chance at life, but the person who took his life will. Sometimes life just isn't fair. This is one of those times." In E. Her final words to the court before being led away Andrus said she pleaded guilty because she is responsible, and her love for everyone involved. "I have no desire to put you through an ugly trial," she stated to the Leblanc family. "I will not be so bold as to ask for your forgiveness," but added that she will not return to Port Hope or Cobourg when she is released. "I am so very sorry to everyone affected by my actions." Andrus will be eligible for parole on September 13, 2022. She was also ordered to give a DNA sample and a lifetime firearms prohibition ban. A Port Hope woman made a tearful apology to members of her murdered partner's family before being led away to begin serving a prison sentence Tuesday. "I have no desire to put any of you through what would undoubtedly be an ugly trial," CatherineAndrus said from the prisoner's dock at the Oshawa courthouse. "I pray you will all feel a sense of justice at the end of this day." Mrs. Andrus, 53, pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in the bludgeoning death of her common-law husband, Michel Leblanc, whose body was found by her teenage son in their Pochon Avenue home on the morning of September 24, 2009. Initially charged with first-degree murder, Ms. Andrus admitted to repeatedly bashing the sleeping man in the head with a baseball bat, then trying to pass off the crime as a robbery gone wrong. Ms. Andrus received a life sentence with parole eligibility set at 12 years. She has been in custody since her arrest in September 2010, making her eligible to apply for release in 2022. This was a vicious, callous, cowardly killing, Superior Court Justice Edwin Minden said in setting the sentence. The offender pummeled her sleeping spouse to death. The courtroom was packed with Mr. Leblanc's friends and relatives, many of whom were weeping. Victim impact statements read into the record described the 53-year-old Mr. Leblanc as a cheerful, generous man, dedicated to family and friends. Tears were also shed by members of Ms. Andrus's family, including her teenage son, a boy Mr. Leblanc had legally adopted as his own. The court heard Mr. Leblanc's killing came after some years of financial strain in his 16-year relationship with Ms. Andrus. The couple had ongoing debt issues, exacerbated by Ms. Andrus's gambling, according to a statement of facts read into the record by prosecutor Brad Kelnick. Their credit cards were in default and frozen, and numerous disconnection notices had been sent to their home, Mr. Kelnick said. Their property taxes were also in arrears. In the days leading up to his death, Mr. Leblanc had two issues predominantly. On his mind, Mr. Kelnick said, one was an anticipated tax refund check he was counting on to help with money issues. The second was an appointment Ms. Andrus had in Kingston on September 24, 2009, for a biopsy on her suspected breast cancer. As it turned out, however, neither was true. Police searching the family home after his killing found a letter from Revenue Canada informing Mr. Leblanc that he owed $5,000 in taxes, and Ms. Andrus was faking the cancer scare when she convinced her husband to call in sick on the day he died, the court heard. There is no evidence she had confessed this to him, Mr. Kelnick said. The court heard that on the morning of September 24th, Ms. Andrus bludgeoned her spouse, smashing him 5 times with a baseball bat as he lay sleeping in their bed. She then scattered items about and removed valuables to create the robbery scenario. The court heard Ms. Andrus did some cleaning up with paper towels, showered, and left for her 6 a.m. shift at a Tim Hortons restaurant, disposing of the towels and the murder weapon on the way. The couple's son, who had celebrated his 16th birthday the previous day, discovered Mr. Leblanc's body shortly after 7 a.m. Ms. Andrus delivered a moving eulogy at her partner's funeral days later, the court heard. Ms. Andrus was arrested nearly a year later on September 13, 2010, and confessed to the killing. The court heard she stood to gain an estimated $370,000 through insurance policies and pension payouts. On Tuesday, her 53rd birthday, Ms. Andrus stood in the prisoner's dock to face Mr. Leblanc's loved ones. Clutching notes between her cuffed hands, she took responsibility for her actions. "I will not be so bold as to ask for your forgiveness," she said. "From my heart, I am so very sorry." Charges laid in 2009 murder case by Joyce Casson, Northumberland Today, September 14, 2010, Port Hope. Investigators from the Port Hope Police Service and the Ontario Provincial Police, OPP, under the direction of Detective Inspector Sean Glassford of the OPP Criminal Investigation Branch, CIB, have arrested and charged a 50-year-old Port Hope woman with first-degree murder about the murder of 53-year-old Michel Claude Leblanc of Port Hope. The investigation commenced on Thursday, September 24, 2009, when Leblanc's body was located in his Pochon Avenue residence in the municipality of Port Hope on Thursday, September 24, 2009. Arrested and charged with first-degree murder is Catherine Donna Mary Andrus, age 50, of Port Hope. Andrus will appear in the Ontario Court of Justice in Cobourg this afternoon at 1:30. Police are continuing the investigation and are asking anyone who might have information regarding the murder of Leblanc to please get in touch with the Port Hope Police Service at 905-885-8123.